So, this unnamed TV show pilot. That's not how we start the podcast, is it? There's usually some sort of witty banter, and then we say, hello everyone, welcome to the Very Reasonable Pilots podcast. I am your host, Charles Lung. With me as always is my co-host, editor, producer, and good time Charlie, Jacob Gloff. How you doing today, Jake?
Interesting that you called me a good time Charlie. It's kind of confusing.
Everything's kind of confusing.
I mean, it isn't.
Everything's kind of confusing.
No.
And then you get it, and then it's not confusing anymore. But at first, everything's kind of confusing.
Maybe when you're a baby.
Yeah, everything's kind of confusing, and then it's not.
Okay. You know what's also kind of confusing?
What?
Your last pitch. So what do you got for this week? Segue.
Oh, segue. Boom. This week, I have an unnamed television show set in an alternative fantasy universe where...
You don't have to say unnamed television show. You could just not put in the title. That's what I do most of the time. That's what we do almost all the time, actually. I don't think we've ever said unnamed television show.
Well, I want the audience to be listening to the pitch and then, coming up with titles. Outsource the work.
Don't. You just haven't come up with a title yet.
Outsource the work to the audience that doesn't exist.
Okay.
Yeah. What was I saying? Oh yeah, everybody. An alternate fantasy universe. Wait, everyone. Stop. I know you're all falling asleep. When I said alternate. Yeah. With elves and sky cities and other cool things. But
Damn, you're going full J.R.R. Tolkien on us, aren't you?
Yeah, sure, why not?
Just going straight into the fantasy.
I'm gonna go fight in World War One. Is he fighting World War One or two? One. Yeah.
Definitely not two.
Yeah. He wasn't beating up Hitler. Roald Dahl was. Roald Dahl was beating up Hitler by being a spy in World War II. You remember?
No idea who you're talking about.
The guy who wrote Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
Oh, I didn't know that he
was a spy. He was basically James Bond. Because he was spied for the British on the U.S. During World War II. And he was just sleeping with all of the, senators' wives. And, getting information. Because he was a young, handsome man. And he was like, I'm fucked out. And his handler was like, you'll go back in there and you'll keep fucking for your country, boy. Which is a real thing that happened to Roald Dahl. Roland Dahl. Is his name Roland?
You should have read a book about that instead.
He should have. So, in this universe, it's sort of... The idea of this universe, which I haven't named yet, but am hesitantly calling it the Hellscape universe. Because that was the name I had for something else. This universe is basically humans aren't very good at looking for magical things, so there are gigantic magical cities and societies that have developed in places where there aren't a lot of people. You know? Because that's my least favorite thing about Harry Potter, is they're like, oh, this magical, the wizarding world of magical Harry Potter is so bustling that there's this one alley that everyone hangs out in that's full of drug addicts. And then also there's basically the MTA. The DMV, you know? There's basically government buildings and an alleyway full of drug addicts. And that's the entirety of the world, the wizarding world of Harry Potter. So I think actual cities, stuff like that. So, there's one on the North American continent, one magical city. It's called New Babylon, and it's in the Midwest. I want this it's in the middle of
Kansas.
Yeah, it's in the middle of Kansas, and it's just in a field. You can't see it, but when you get up close, it becomes more visible if you've, the sight or whatever lame excuse they give. It's me.
No, it's such normal people. It's a simple town, but if you have the sight or whatever you're going to call it, you can see it's a big city.
Yeah, well, to normal people, it just looks like a big field. And to people...
What happens when they get really close, though?
They get shot with lightning bolts.
Oh. Okay.
Or they get turned away, you know? Do all sorts of stuff.
You could make it like, you haven't seen WandaVision, so this isn't helpful. But in that show, anyone that goes towards the town, they're like, there's no town here. They're like looking at the town, they're like, there's no town. Like, there's something about like the being near it that makes you like, you can't see it, but it is there. It's like your brain just can't compute it.
Yeah, exactly. Something like that. So that these big magic cities are all around, like, the world. And they're, you know, constantly, like, dragons and magic carpets and other shit flying through the sky. But it's all invisible to people, unless you,
Is it animated?
No. I wasn't thinking so, but it definitely could be.
Damn, your budget's gonna be really big.
Yeah, it would be very
dragons
expensive.
And magic carpets.
But our story follows a man named Mitchell Barbowski. Now, Mitchell was a young man in the 80s. And he was like, I want to be the best fighter in the world. So he sold his soul to the devil. And not like to the actual Beelzebub, the Lucifer, fallen angel. But to more just this guy who lives in a different dimension. Called hell, quote unquote. And he's just powerful. And he was like, sold his soul to this devil for the ability he never loses a fist fight. Any fight he's in, he wins it. That's his one power. Like, doesn't matter.
He's not like immortal or anything. He's just
if he's in a fight, he's gonna win it.
Damn.
And so
It's a pretty stupid wish.
Yeah, it is. So he becomes the best boxer in the world. Or not really. He becomes a, drunk. Because his whole passion was boxing. And now that he knows, I'm gonna win every fight I fight, now it's boring. So he's already, so he goes to drink and he becomes this, I have here, he's a Jack Black type. That's what I'm thinking.
Jack Black?
He's like a Jack Black type. But he's like the best fighter in the world. So
he's like short and stubby?
Yeah, he's like this old fat guy. No offense, Jacob Black, if that's Jacob. That's his name, right? Jacob Black.
Yeah, that's what it is. How'd you know that? It's a secret.
And the thing with this universe is, if somebody has your soul, that means they get to control you after you die. You know? Like Spawn. You know Spawn?
Yeah, the film.
Yeah, in the comic and
also
stuff.
The comic.
Like, he made the deal, so they get to control him, and it's the same kind of thing. So he realizes, like, okay, when I die, I'm gonna be doing, like, devil shit for all of eternity, and that doesn't sound very nice. I don't want to be a bad person. So he's like, now, in his later in his life, he's trying to figure out a way to get his soul back. You know? Scheming. Trying to work it out. So our story picks up. He's in Canada in a boxing ring with another gigantic, he's not gigantic, with another fighter who is a gigantic Minotaur man. And he's, doing have you ever seen a little film called X-Men? The first X-Men? 2002's own?
Yes.
2002? Yeah. Remember the Wolverine where he's doing the fight and stuff? That.
Yeah.
Fight cage. But it's all magical beasties and such. And they're in like northern Canada, and he's, just chilling, trying to figure out some method of dealing with the demon, that has his soul, this upper prince of hell, trying to get some dirt on him or trying to do something, but he's kind of aimless.
Some dirt on a demon?
Exactly.
He's like gonna find out about his fucking affair or something?
I don't know.
Like, oh no, he's having.
But I would like to think
with another demon.
Yeah, maybe. But I would like to think of hell, as this version of hell, as kind of like a medieval bureaucracy.
Okay.
So everything
it's really
is like
corporate.
Yeah, like there's tons of gossip.
Okay.
And then, medieval bureaucracy is how I would like to describe this. They're very, up their own ass. And like, ooh, look at us. I'm in charge of you because my dad was born 1 month before your dad, or whatever. I don't know.
I see, just like us.
Just like in the real world. and a young woman named Ellie walks in to the bar in northern Canada, and she's got this book that's wrapped in plastic and like garbage bags and stuff, and it's all hidden. She's got it with her, and she starts asking questions about, has anyone seen a Mr. Barbowski? And that's Mitchell's name. So.
Oh shit.
Oh, yeah, I know. It didn't seem to hit.
It did. I just didn't react the way you wanted to.
No. That was exactly how I wanted that interaction to go in my head.
Okay. Nice.
And so Mitchell takes her aside and he says, "Hey, what the fuck? Why are you looking for me?" And she looks like she's 26, maybe. She looks very young. And she says, my name is Eli Crawford, or whatever, Ellie Crawford. And I am a 56-year-old woman. And it turns out that she's half elf, but she didn't know that. But because elves age slower than humans, she doesn't look old, but she's 56. Like, she's the same age as Mitchell, or older, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
So she's, got she's got some characteristics of being old and wizened and some characteristics of being young and excited. But she was told by her mother on her deathbed, because her mom just died, which is sad. You should tell her that you're sorry. You're sorry, Ellie.
I'm sorry, Ellie.
Your mom died. It's sad. And she was told to go find her father, and it was given, these two things. It was given a book that was wrapped in, like, trash bags and stuff, and a ticket to Atlantis.
Oh.
And Atlantis is the only magical city in this universe that isn't, like, in some way involved in human affairs. It's completely separate, you know?
Yeah.
And it's in the Indian Ocean. Real down deep. And the only way you can get there is through a ticket. And tickets, you have to kill someone and take theirs, or buy one, and they're very expensive. So it's like, Mitchell's like, oh shit, if I get a ticket to Atlantis, I'll be able to, like, possibly talk to somebody about, maybe trading my soul for something. Like, he's just hopeful.
Wait, I'm confused. So Mitchell can trade his soul again?
Yeah, he wants to get his soul back from the devil.
Oh, I thought you were saying he was going to trade it again, not trade for it back. Okay.
Yeah. And then he's like, okay, Atlantis is cool. And she shows him the book, and she's holding the Necronomicon, which is a big deal, if you didn't know. If you ever get
know.
The Necronomicon, it's a big book of spells that are all evil, and it's bound in human flesh. Written by Sumerians or something. Yeah.
Crazy. Okay.
So
where does it go from there? Do they go to Atlantis? Does he use the spell book?
Well, we get there. In this universe, there's 3 Necronomicons, and if you get all 3 together, it'll be bad.
No, not bad. I hate when things get bad. Oh no, seems like Charles doesn't know where the story goes next.
No, I'm just...
I've got you, Charles. Okay, so then next they start a journey around the world in 80 days, and they have a BBC film crew follow them.
You have no idea.
Michael Palin's there.
That's actually pretty close.
Wait, Michael Palin's there?
They do a 180 days sky journey. So they go from Canada, they're in Canada, and they go from Canada to Russia via Mitchell has a friend who is a lady, who is a snake lady. But she doesn't actually have any, like, female characteristics. She just identifies as a lady, but she's just a snake person. who's got a spaceship or a starship. No, a skyship. How would you say it?
Well, I don't understand what the ship does, so I don't know.
It flies through the sky.
Like a plane?
Yeah, but it's a ship.
She's got a fucking plane, Charles.
No, it's a ship, like a boat ship, but it flies through the sky.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a ship.
Okay.
I keep saying that and it doesn't help at all.
No, it doesn't. I got you now. It's a boat in the sky.
Yeah, it's a boat. She's got a boat in the sky and they fly to Russia and they get attacked. And I feel like each episode of this series would be, a contained adventure, happening in a different part of the world. And then every, third episode would be big main story heavy of Ellie, the 56-year-old who looks like a child, finding her father who abandoned her and her mother when she was born, and yada, yada, yada. The same sort of backstory crap.
Yeah, that everyone has. Backstory crap, yep. So is it, you said it's kind of like a random occurrence every episode, or like a, contained adventure, right?
Yeah.
So is the goal for them to get to Atlantis, right?
The goal of this season is to get to Atlantis.
Okay.
Yes.
And do they know, is the idea that, they're traveling around the world because they don't really know how to get into Atlantis, and they're trying to, find where it is? Or do they know where Atlantis is, and they're just trying to get to that location so they can, take the train down or whatever?
They don't know where Atlantis is, and they don't know how to get to it because they don't know where to use the ticket. Okay. So they're just going around to people Mitchell knows because he's been kind of dealing in the magical world his whole life. Because he's ever since he got the soul to soul and all that stuff. So they go from Canada to Russia, and I have this very cool idea. I don't know if I told you about this idea of the city that is built into a gigantic hole in the ground.
Oh yeah, you did tell me this. I love this idea.
Yeah, it's an enormous hole that reaches down to hell, quote unquote. It doesn't actually in the universe or in real life. And it houses most of the Russian mafia or whatever.
The Russian magic mafia.
Yeah. And
hell yeah.
I don't know what they should be. I think they'll just be big scary Russian guys that are in the hole, which is in Siberia and is in the name of the big city that's in a hole. And then Budapest will also go.
If we can go back for a second, you can make I don't know how comical you want the series to be, but you can make a reoccurring joke there that you have to literally bribe someone for everything.
Yeah.
It's like they're walking down the street. It's like, hey, this cobblestone here. This is 10. What's the Russian currency? What's the Russian currency?
Rubles.
10 rubles. I don't think that's the Russian currency.
Yeah, it is.
Is it?
I think so.
I don't think so. But we'll say it is. He's like 10 rubles for this cobblestone. Well, what if I just walk around and be like, 10 rubles for that one too? Okay, what if I step on this one? 15 for that one.
Yeah, and then he just punches him in the nose because he's a Jack Black type, but he's also a badass.
Oh yeah, I forgot
Mitchell.
About that.
And Ellie is a 56-year-old woman, so she's smarter than all these other people. I keep saying 56 very specifically. It's not specifically 56. She's
gonna continually repeat throughout the show. I am a 56-year-old woman in 9 months. Okay.
So I
9
think
months and 12 days.
I think the first two episodes, first episode introductory, second episode they're getting from across Canada to his friend's ship, and maybe they're bonding and stuff. Oh. They've got to deal with a problem. Maybe his car breaks down. There's some bonding stuff. He's driving to the ship.
Oh, okay. So it's across Canada to the skyboat.
Yeah, and then skyboat. They get on the skyboat. End of episode 2. Beginning of episode 3, the skyboat's going down. It crashes in the mountains. And the only 3 people to survive are 2 people, Mitchell and Ellie, obviously. And the captain, who I can't
Oh, I thought you were saying the only 3 people to decide are 2 people to survive.
Oh, man. I would be really great. You didn't say that. I didn't say that.
Good joke. I can cut it so that you didn't say that. I didn't mean to do that for you. Sure. You're funny. That's what I'm here for. I try to make you funny.
That sounds like a very difficult job.
It's really hard.
Mm-hmm. So, and then they're accosted by werebears, and maybe Mitchell is severely injured.
But he can't lose a fight.
Yeah, but like a plane crashing into a mountain isn't a fight.
I don't know. Plane versus ground.
So maybe
also it's not a plane. I thought it was a ship boat.
A ship boat. A boat crashing into a mountain is not a fight. But maybe we can have a scene where he's like really horrifically injured, but he also has to get into a fist fight with like a wolf.
And he can't lose, so it's like this really weird fight where he somehow is winning, even though he's just like this complete mess.
Maybe like I'm thinking maybe one arm is like snapped the wrong way,
okay,
and he's just like using it as like a nunchuck.
Oh my god! Probably just injures himself more because of his actions.
Yeah, so maybe that would give Ellie a good chance to thrive as a character and prove her worth to Mitchell.
Is she gonna use magic or something?
No, I think she's just gonna be like cool and great and kick ass.
What is her fighting thing? How does she fight?
She's got knives, but she's learning along the way. She spent her whole life as a human being who does taxes, regular stuff.
She does the werebears' taxes, and they let them go.
Yeah, so they kill all the werebears or somehow they kill all the werebears. So it'll be Ellie. She probably drops a big rock on them or something.
She drops maybe IRS notice at their door. Maybe. They're like, fuck, we gotta get out of here.
Oh shit, let's go. Maybe they're standing on a rock and Ellie's like, you guys are such shitheads, and she hits it and that like causes the rock to fall off and killing all of them.
Ah, okay.
And she's just like, yeah, that was me. I did that. Wink.
I knew. I meant to do that. That was completely
so they go the whole, and I think that the whole, you know what I mean? This big city in Siberia. And something I would like to do is I would like to have our mobsters, the Russian mobsters, in a sauna. You know how all good criminal meetings take place in a sauna, and they're lobsters.
Yeah. Okay. Didn't know that. Apparently they do that.
They do. They're lobsters.
All the mafia bosses are lobsters?
Yes, they're mobster lobsters that like to hang out in the sauna. And maybe like some of them are going from blue to red.
Okay, wow.
And they leave at the end of the day when they're red.
This is a ridiculous idea.
I think it's great. So they, do something. Mitchell maybe has to square a debt because Ellie finds out he's a bit of a gambler. He's a gambling addict. And he's got to square a debt with a lobster mobster, and they go from the hole, make their way to Budapest, where they are doing something. I don't know. I haven't really planned out Budapest. And I think the series ends in whatchamacallit. It doesn't end in Atlantis, actually.
Oh, shit.
I don't think it should end with Atlantis. I think the second season should start with Atlantis. But ends with them getting into Saudi Arabia or going to Mecca. And there's a gigantic city that is built on top of Mecca. Like the big black box.
Yeah.
Is like, you go to the big black box and there's just like a secret set of steps that nobody sees. That you walk into this gigantic city that is being held aloft by the power of whatever they built Mecca around the space rock. You know?
Yeah.
And then from there, they meet like a prophet or a mystic who's like, I know what you have to do. You have to go into the desert. And have you seen John Wick 3?
Yeah, I have. Wait, is it going to be like this where he's going to meet like the dude in the desert? He's like... They walk through the desert and there's these, stories, myths about this hidden city that was lost in the desert. And they're walking through the desert and they, collapse and are about to die, but then they're picked up by this gigantic, the people living on this gigantic beetle. The back of the beetle is where they built the city.
So the city hasn't been lost. It's just been moving throughout the desert this whole time. But they don't have any contact. They're very, secretive.
Oh.
Yeah, and so maybe they're, like, only there will you find out how to get to Atlantis. Maybe Atlantis hasn't been accepting people. There hasn't been a new ticket to Atlantis in circulation for the last, 25 years or something.
Damn. Atlantis doesn't like people anymore.
Yeah, exactly. It doesn't like people, period. In real life.
Because it doesn't exist?
Yeah. Oh. Sure. That's what they want you to think.
Oh, have you gone crazy? It's okay.
Gone?
Oh, yeah, I guess.
Still continue to be. So yeah, and then I think the end of season 1 is they, find this big city and they reaffirm their beliefs, and maybe the big series drop, the big season 2 reveal. We save till season 2, obviously, but about maybe the first thing season 2, they get told how to get to Atlantis. End of season 1, season 2 begins. They're making their way to, the toe of Italy. You know what I mean? The toe of the boot of Italy.
Yeah, I got you.
And
that's where it is.
That's just how the machine you put your ticket in.
That's where it is.
That's where it is.
That's pretty far away from the Indian Ocean.
Yeah, I know, but it's magic.
So do you put it in there, and then it's like cool underground train you go in, and that's it. It takes you to Atlantis. That'd be cool. I like that. Nice little train.
Yeah, just through the Earth's core or something. Not through the Earth's core. It's not on the other side of the planet, but you know what I mean. It goes underground.
You know where you could put it? There is a. I know you said the toe of Italy, but this isn't. This is in Rome. It's called the Mouth of Truth. It's this little statue thing, and it's you're supposed to put your hand in it. And if you it's like if you lie or something, it bites you, I believe, something like that. But maybe you could just insert your ticket in there.
Oh my god, we could do it like you insert the ticket, and it's like a QR scan.
And it's like they're having trouble scanning it or something.
Yeah, it's like, is it? They rub it off on the table, make sure it's straight, and it's like, beep. All right, great, we're in.
Yeah.
And a door opens. Yeah, I think that'd be good. Season 2, big series reveal. Ellie's father is actually a bad guy.
Oh shit.
Yeah, he's the leader of the group of people that want to keep Atlantis away from the rest of the world.
Damn.
Yeah,
this
and
is
maybe we can
Wakanda all over again.
Exactly like Wakanda all over again.
Except the bad people are not really Wakanda at all, except that there's a city.
Yeah. And maybe throughout the first season we can have a subplot of there's people following them. There's a big organization or group that's hunting them down. It's have you seen this man? He's a Jack Black type, Oh. Jolly, fat. He's got a beard, maybe.
Does her dad want the book?
Yes. Everyone wants the book because if you get all 3 of the Necronomicons that have all been written, you can summon any demon you want. Any horror from beyond the, colors of space and time you can summon and bend to your will. If you have all 3 Necronomicons. And they have one in Atlantis, and she has the other, and they don't know where the third one is.
Oh shit, this is like Justice League with the 3 mother boxes. There's gonna be you're gonna have Steppenwolf in here, he's gonna be running around trying to find him.
Shit's gonna be
he's
crazy.
Gonna find him. And then you're gonna have Henry Cavill show up at the end of this show, and he's gonna just beat up everyone.
I would love that. Superman has not been in this fucking movie. I am more than halfway through the Snyder Cut, and I have seen, Superman has been maybe mentioned 5 times in dialogue with the entirety of the first 2.5 hours, and I've seen him maybe once in a hologram.
Really?
And at the very beginning, he yells, and everyone's sad. But I don't care. Fuck that guy. He's a prick.
Damn. In the normal theatrical cut, he's mentioned every 3 seconds. Everyone's like, "Oh, we need Superman. We can't do this by ourselves."
Yeah, I know. They keep
and then
saying,
eventually
like,
they're like, you know what, we can do it by ourselves. And then Superman shows up. He's like, never mind, I got this, guys.
I'm not gonna. Never mind.
What a great movie. So you're gonna have Henry Cavill show up at the end of your show?
I'm gonna have Hal Jordan show up at the end of my show and save everyone. Ryan Reynolds, Hal Jordan. Okay. It's gonna be great.
All right. So, is there a big conclusion? Do you have any idea of how it ends?
Not how we end season 2.
How many seasons is this show?
I think you could. 2 at the least.
Okay.
Probably,
do you have an idea of how the show ends?
5.
Charlie?
Oh well, she kills her father somehow. That would be the ending, but that's plotted out way ahead.
Oh, okay.
So I haven't thought about that.
Season 5.
Yeah, season 5. She kills her father, and Mitchell probably dies somehow.
I don't think we've ever had a non-sitcom show that doesn't have a concrete ending to it.
Yeah, but I think that this is like a Golden Compass. The Golden Compass. Have you seen the Golden Compass?
No, I haven't.
Neither have I. But
Nice.
I saw. A friend of mine when I was a kid had the box for the DVD, so I've looked at the box for the DVD for the Golden Compass a lot, and I think that this is a similar vibe. Well, thank you everyone for listening to the Very Reasonable Pilots podcast.
I'm sorry,
I've been your host.
You think this is a similar show to a movie that you haven't seen?
I think it's got a similar vibe.
But you haven't seen this movie.
Yeah, but I've seen the trailer for the movie. I've read the back of the box for the movie.
Just get us fucking out of here. I'm done with you.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Very Reasonable
That's
Pilots
not what you're
podcast.
supposed to do.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Very Reasonable Pilots podcast.
All right, he's done. Goodbye, everyone. Thank you for listening to Charles's Rambles. You can follow us on Twitter at VRP Podcast, on YouTube, VRP Podcast, or maybe it's Very Reasonable Pilots Podcast. One of the Spotify. It's on everything besides Stitcher and one other thing. I think it's on Apple Podcasts, all that good stuff. And
if you have a title.
Oh, if you have a title, I guess, for this show, maybe something that has the word Atlantis in it, that would be great. What's that one movie, the animated movie, that was about going to Atlantis? We could just name it that.
Journey to Atlantis?
Yep, Journey to Atlantis.
Yeah.
Called the same. It's actually a sequel to that.
Yeah, Michael J. Fox. He's going to be there.
He actually is in this show. He's the main Berkowitz, whatever his name is. Okay. Well, goodbye, everyone.